Hello again. Welcome to the next video in our series for Duchenne education, brought to you by the Cure Duchenne Cares program. My name is Jennifer Wallace. I am a physical therapist and owner at Duchenne Therapy Network, and today's topic is nutritional considerations for those with Duchenne. Proper nutrition and healthy eating habits are important for everyone. This is especially true for those who have a chronic illness such as Duchenne muscular dystrophy. As many of you are aware, Cincinnati Children's Hospital has one of the most outstanding neuromuscular clinics in the United States. As part of this multidisciplinary clinic, Barbara Godshaw, a registered dietitian, provides patients and families with invaluable input on diet and nutrition. She was gracious enough to volunteer her time and expertise to help the Duchenne community. Let's start with some basic information for healthy families.
So the first thing is it's never too late to start, no matter what age of your child. Probably the biggest thing is the earlier you start in age, the easier it is. So even from birth, that if the parents are eating healthy and making healthy choices, then it's natural for the child to make healthy choices. That being said, really meal planning and grocery shopping. I always said if it doesn't make it in the cart and it doesn't make it into the house, you're probably not going to eat it. What a portion size would be for their child in terms of a meal. And one little guideline we go by is we use the child's hand. So like for instance a fist. A fist would be the average size of, let's say, a portion of vegetables, fruit, pasta, or rice. And then the palm of their hand would be like an average serving of lean meat or protein fish. And then the tip of the finger would be like an average serving of, let's say, oil or a butter spread of some kind. So that gives them an idea of portion sizes.
Thank you, Barb. Knowing how important nutrition can be in maintaining walking, reducing fractures, and overall health for those with Duchenne can't be understated. What are some specific dietary concerns when it comes to Duchenne?
Those specific diet recommendations that are required for those with Duchenne, especially if they're going to be on steroids for long periods of time, would be avoiding excessive weight gain, which means avoiding excessive intake compared to what their activity level is. So normally their calorie need is about 80% of what the normal calorie need would be for a child that does not have Duchenne. So that is a biggie. They're going to have lower calorie needs, and that means their intake needs to be a little bit less. Another thing would be, again, decreasing salt intake, really paying attention to salt. Our recommendation is keeping it to about 1,500 milligrams a day. That can be very challenging if you're not paying attention, because a lot of prepackaged foods are a lot higher in sodium. So really paying attention to how much sodium is in foods and keeping that sodium and salt intake lower. And then the next biggie would be the bone health, making sure that they get adequate calcium and that their vitamin D levels are monitored.
That is all great information. What are some specific daily recommendations you would give?
To start with, always having a good breakfast that is rich in protein, like for instance an egg with like turkey sausage and a whole wheat toast, plain non-fat yogurt mixed with fruit, maybe a shake that has protein in it, fruit and protein in it. What we don't want is to avoid a lot of sweets with breakfast, like avoiding the high sugar cereals, using lower sugar cereals. And our definition of low sugar cereals would be cereals that have less than 9 grams of sugar per serving. Like avoiding Pop-Tarts, muffins, sweet rolls, avoiding those kind of things at breakfast. That is a biggie right there. Some of the other ones would be increasing their water intake. The water intake, kind of a quick and simple guideline would be an ounce of water, or whatever their body weight is in pounds, cut that in half, and that's the number of ounces they need to drink a day. So let's say a child weighed 60 pounds You cut that in half, they would need 30 ounces of water a day. That's kind of at least that much, but that would be the target initial goal for them in terms of water intake. Another would be avoiding high salt foods and not salting foods at the table, and trying to decrease the addition of salt in cooking, and then using low sodium food products as much as possible. Another recommendation would be focusing on lean proteins, meat, fish, and poultry. Also baking, broiling, boiling those as opposed, or grilling as opposed to deep fat frying meats, fish, and poultry. The next would also be including a green salad or lettuce salad with lunch and dinner. That's also a really great way to curb appetite. Also increase that fruit and vegetable intake. And then also eating less starchy vegetables like potatoes or starches in general, pastas, rice, and again replacing those with more of the less starchy vegetables. As they get older, a lot of times they go for orthopedic surgery, scoliosis surgery. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to have a really good diet that's very rich in fruit and vegetables and good protein, and avoiding, the sugars and the sweets and all that prior to the surgery, let's say at least 6 weeks to 3 months prior, and then also like 6 weeks to 3 months after for good healing.
And what are your recommendations for individuals who struggle with chronic constipation, which can be common in Duchenne?
To avoid constipation, the two big things are adequate water intake and fiber intake together. Because if you increase the fiber but you don't increase the water, you're probably not going to get the benefit.
There are many questions about vitamins and supplements. Would you like to talk about a few of these?
The ones that I focus on are really calcium. And calcium, again, is based on when I speak with a family about what the child's actual intake is, then we decide if a calcium supplement is needed or not. I would not just start a calcium supplement without knowing what their food intake is of calcium, because there is such a thing as getting too much calcium. So you don't want to do excessive calcium. So it's very important to know what the food items are and work backwards from that and decide if a calcium supplement is needed. And then the other one that I focus on is really a good multiple vitamin and mineral supplement. And I say minerals because there's lots of good minerals that they really need. And certain vitamins, like gummy vitamins, don't contain a lot of minerals. So they want like a chewable tablet, like a Flintstones Complete or a Centrum Kids Complete or a Nature Made Complete multivitamin of that kind. Yet when they get into their teens, they could actually go to like a men's vitamin if they wanted to, an adult men's vitamin.
Is there anything else that you would like to say to the families?
I think one of the things for the parents, not to be stressed at where they are. It all starts with one step. Just start with one thing and then build on that one thing.
Thank you so much, Barbara Godshall. Thank you for watching. We do hope that you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to this channel to get notifications of future videos. You can contact us at the information above. And thank you to our sponsors.